Hello my lovely and underrated witches, I'm the powerful and iconic merciless_witch, and today's video is going to be more positive for once in a while rather than destroying everyone in a second, or what other would call me, and Behavior Interactive stan. Because Behavior Interactive finally made a update again, which doesn't read like that an angry drunken Karen puked overall in the update, while an underpaid trainee tries to save the update with anything useless. So this is pretty surprising, that they suddenly changed so much into the positive for me. The only thing which we're needing is a cupcake character in the game, so that I can finally stop making jokes about her, but I'm for sure that my lovely hackers, in quote-unquote, are having something for me maybe. But before we're moving on, is this video supported by Alejandro 2023, as in merciless_supporter, which is pretty iconic. Not gonna lie. And if you want to have your name to being said out loudly here, supporting me, and get some other cool benefits, is there a link down below to do so. So with no more being said, let's start on why I am a behavior stan now, and on why the hell everyone else is hating this update. Update 1, Blood Web changes. This is it. This what I waited for many years. This is what makes Dowsy looks like a fucking idiot and clown at the very same time, and this is helping me so much than stan Twitter could ever be, since they are finally, after all those years, changing how you can buy items/perks/add-ons in the Blood Web, and goddamn, this is really what I wanted. No matter what Dowsy is saying, since he is such a pathic incel for trying to cancel Dead by Daylight for this update. Anyways, where was I? Ah yes, fangirling for once in a while. They improved it with 3 changes. The first change is that you can just click to the perk, item, offering, add-on which you want to have, and it will buys everything in the way for you, which means that you don't have to buy your through the wished object which you want, and save so much time at giving out blood points that I would be already happy enough with this. But they didn't, because the second change is that the game is buying the stuff for you automatically if you just click that one little button in the middle from the Blood Web, which means that you don't have to do absolutely nothing anymore, so that you can watch some videos from me while waiting to get into a lobby, which is just great because, hello, you don't have to think on what you want to have if you don't care, and can play faster the game. Or you can be pissed about it like Dowsy, triggering me so much that something pretty iconic is getting uploaded next week about him on this channel, and try to cancel Dead by Daylight about shit, since his YouTube channel is rather dying than living. But for those which are not wanting to get everything automatic, will be there the third option, that you don't have to hold the mouse anymore and to buy things in your Blood Web faster, which is again absolutely great, because that even Behavior is giving us an option for those under us which is trying to cancel Dead by Daylight. And it's so weird to not read anything weird or something which would a Karen implement into the game, and it's weirder that everyone is hating this except of me. But hey, I will give update 1 for 0.66 merciless stars out of 5, because this is outstanding. But I wish that the second option, you know, the automatic buying thingy, would be changeable to what it should prioritize, since it's only going to buy the cheap stuff in the Blood Web for the start. But I really don't care about it so much that this is only picnicking from me, but just this would be enough for me already. Update 2, Visual Terror Radius. Little story time here. I sometimes have problems with hearing when I'm getting my brutal headaches, which almost killed me last time, and where I can't really understand something at the right or left ear because it has a numb feeling. This is only sometimes, and my conditions is getting better since the years, but it made me feeling difficult to stream a lot, because the longer I have to wear any headset, the annoying the pain is getting, even if it's getting better, god thankfully. But this made me sit out on sudden Dead by Daylight events, which really sucks, and I'm so happy to announce that there is finally an update which is letting me playing Dead by Daylight even without hearing anything, because you can activate now in the settings a heart symbol like in Dead by Daylight, which is showing when the killer is coming into your area, and better, you can even change the colors from it kinda. I know that some are not understanding this, but this is kinda overwhelming to see for me because of my sensible ears, and I'm happy, really happy, that I can finally play Dead by Daylight even if my ears are about to making me feel so dizzy again, or when I just want to play Dead by Daylight but don't want to hear the annoying sound effects, because sudden sound effects are just hurting my ear to hear after a time. And just this alone, this is straight up 5 out of 5, and I will definitely use it when it comes out, because it lets me playing the game again without worsening my headaches or my ears. And it's so weird, like really so weird, that they also didn't fuck this update up, since Behavior Interactive is usually known for switching with good and bad updates around. But I think that I also rank this a bit higher, since this involving me personally a lot. But it will be also helpful for parents with newborn kids which are wanting to play Dead by Daylight but doesn't want to let it hearing the screams from the survivors while they are sleeping next beside you. So again, thank you for this update, because this is actually helping me a lot. Update 3, Map Updates. This was a hard one to rank, because the problem is, they are describing what they are doing, but the screenshots which they released with this update are pretty hard to tell if this is the changed version or not, and how it is going play when it it comes out. Like, what are they meaning with being more in the center? Does that mean in th center, or just away from the corner, which the house used to be? Also, are those changes rather small changes, like changed a position from the main house or breaking up sudden objects, such as the car wall in Gas Heaven? But I also have to tell you, my witches, that I think that main house for Blood Lodge being more in the center can be working more out than Gas Heaven, which is also the reason why Gas Heaven is getting ranked a bit lower for me. Just because that I can't imagine it being more in the center, and that I know that Behavior Interactive, which is rather known for fuck-ups than great updates. Hashtag sorry not sorry. The map updates are ending with that they are finally, like really finally, going to change on how sudden loops are working with newer tiles and new palette spawns, which I hope that they won't make that exclusive for the Autohaven Wrecker realm. I want to see newer tiles at the recently updated Haddonfield, since this map is having too many dead ends in the middle and from its corners. Haddonfield isn't playable for me after 5 minutes in the gameplay, and I hope that they experiment with this stuff more, since it would help other maps and would also help to diversify the perks from the players, since they would use other perks than the meta perks. In the overhaul, will I give the update 4 out of 5 merciless_stars, since I'm really hopeful with the tiles, but I'm nervous with how they are going to work out the map, since they are known for fucking this up. But we will see how the public beta is going to like with those changes. Update 4, longer heal times. You know that I love my good portion of tragging survivor mains in the mud, but I think that Behavior Interactive made themselves a new enemy, since they are going to do something which not even I would have ever done, increasing the healing time by a good chuck, by 8 seconds to be exact, and oh boy. This is risky, but I also love it, since this is what the survivors are getting for making me extra work by forcing me new topics for videos on me because of them screaming randomly around on Twitter. But my lovely witches, this wasn't anything, and I know that some of you are having problems with math, but this means that self-caring with Claudette's perk is now, instead of 32 seconds, increased up to 48 seconds, since you only yourself there with 50% of the normal speed, which means not did they also fuck survivor mains pretty much hardcore with it. They also made a lot of self-healing builds weaker, which means more downs for killer, or at least having more chances to just get a kill at least. I wish that this would have been done here, because I'm scared how my comment section is looking alike under this video, with all the survivors screaming at me on how I can like this stuff, but it doesn't end it here, because all med kids, and when I do mean all, do I mean all, got nerfed too. Yes, you heard that right. They nerfed them, and not only a tiny bit, they basically wrecked them on the ground and spit on them after it. I even had to reread the update logs if I really understood them, as they lettered it, but every medkit is having 24 charges by default, aka 1 heal, and their spit is that they nerf the bonus speed from healing with a medkit a lot. Like your purple medkit. Yeah, goodbye with 50% healing, since their speed is getting capped at 35. This isn't joke, and to be honest, that is quite tough to force the survivors on them, especially when they are all at the confused screamer mode right now, but I like it, to be honest, because this means that they have to question themselves if it's really worth the risk of healing someone with a medkit, or if you don't want to wait for a mate to heal you. This will make me incredible unbeloved in this community, but this is also a 5 out of 5 merciless_stars worth for me, because this is what the survivor mains are getting for always believing that they are still more worth than the killers, and that they don't tread the killers so well as I wanted to, and I really hope that Behavior Interactive isn't re-roll this, because in my opinion, is that so fully earned, since killers are getting a chance with it, and is forcing you back into the real world. But congrats for Behavior Interactive for finally getting the problem out of the way for the killers, and let's hope that this is going to continue so great as it is with the mid-chapter update. Update 5, perk changes. Oh my, they changed 7 perks. Not quite a lot for my taste, but it's more than the other updates gave use, and we should not forget what other things they implemented till up to now. Since I don't want to explain every perk in here, will you have to Google for yourself if I will forget explaining on what the perk was doing it before, but since Dead by Daylight is containing out of 90% of highly aggressive Karens trying to cancel me and other players, well, I think that this won't be a problem for me. Under those 7 perks were for killers perks, and 3 survivor perks changed, and the changes are all ranging from small changes up to basically killing a perk. Let's start with the smaller changes, since the one which just got killed is so huge that I want to save it up for the end. The first perk which got changed is Gearhead, which is now activating after a survivor is getting downed for 30 seconds, where he can see the survivors when they are hitting a normal skill check instead of an great one for 8 seconds, which should help to getting used now more, since it was before just a rarity to use it since a lot of survivors are only hitting the normal skill checks, and not the great ones. Especially when the perk is only activated for 30 seconds after a survivor got downed, which isn't helping you that much because either you let the survivor recover, which you hit to tunnel the shit out of the survivor which just hit in skill check, or ignore it and try to save it for later in your mind, where the survivor likes to hide, or which generator he likes the most. But it's good to see that the perk is now at least usable, which is something. Overzealous is the perk which I really wanted to get working for me, but I just couldn't since I needed to find a totem before it and needed to be lucky to not getting chosen by the killer as his next prey, which would deactivate it when getting hit on. So the easiest thing to do, which I would have probably also made, is to give it more material like me with the material meme currently, by just adding an repair boost from 2% so that it is 10% now, and that it can be also activated when they are booting the totems, which is giving at least something back for the risk that you can't use it anymore when booting or cleansing a totem. It will be also probably used when someone is using a boon setup, but I hope that they won't touch this perk anymore since it would be then kinda too strong if we're thinking about it in combination of other repair boost perks and items. Scourge Hook. Pain Resonance is like a bug. When a new update is coming around, is Pain Resonance one of the perks which is getting tweaked and changed because Behavior Interactive wants to be it so strong that you can games with it, but not so much that everyone is using it for the meta, which they currently are, since killers are thinking that making survivor screaming like crazy is funny. So to the addition from the last update, is it getting now for tokens to see if enough people are stop using the perk for the sake of God, because yes, I'm full in for killers getting a helping hand and strong perks, but this perk got recently so much changed and used that I just want to see it die, just because it is currently the meta again. I'm fine with this perk change, but I hope that they are going to kill it off like they did with the next perk in the update, since I had enough from it personally. Dead Hard. Ah yes. Remember when all the YouTubers cried that when Dead Hard is dying that their whole personality is dying? No, me neither, except that I wanted to remember that the community likes to call everything and anything dead, which is just getting made slightly weaker, but I think that we can say our final goodbye wishes now, after some skilled survivor tried to use it since it's getting his last nail in the coffin by adding that you can only activate it when you unhook someone, and will deactivate when the user got saved by an hit from Dead Hard. I know, quite droggish what happened with this perk, but this did only happen by the whole dumb truck of YouTubers promoting the perk over and over again. So I knew that it had to come kinda like this. Just because when Behavior Interactive tried to kill it several times, it came up from deads and they killed it more and more off till we're having it in the state of this kinda perk. I'm personally feel no sorry for it. I'm even happy to see that this perk is dead now after all the people called it 24/7 dead when it was not. But there you go, Dead Hard. You used to be so annoying, and I'm thanking you for the offer which you gave us. Call of Brine was one of these perks which everyone ignored, then Starva played it, and then everyone played it despite hating the perk with their life. I thought that it was forgotten since I didn't saw it for a long time in my rounds anymore, but I guess I was wrong because they nerfed its regression from 200% to 125%, which makes it almost so worse than Hex, Ruin, but still make it better than Ruin since Ruin is a Hex totem and can be destroyed within the first 10 seconds of a game, while Call of Brine is just coming out of nowhere. For me, was this a bit questionable, or I just didn't got to know in another trend, which would probably fuck over my head several times, but I just take it because it was for me a problem, and won't be such a hardcore problem anymore for me at least. If we're already talking about Call of Brine, should we also about the perk which made it more annoying than my whole YouTube existence, Overcharge, which was just like Call of Brine, just with kicking a generator and surprise. It's also getting a nerf to 130% and not the overpowered 200% anymore. Who would have thought that? Not me, no, but again, I'm happy that it got nerfed, because even if I didn't saw it as much as I used to saw it a lot more, was the possibility here that this madman is going crazy and making my survivor life much more worse again than my unneeded jokes. But all those perks which got changed didn't shock me to got changed, as the next aka last one, which is Boon, Circle of Perma-Spams. Like seriously, the person which made those updates is also madman, because nerfing healing, medkits and Circle of Spamming in one update is such a brave thing to do, that I don't know if this person is still living or that developer died while publishing this update. The bad news is, you still can spam it like me by some YouTubers when I ask them for an interview, but the good news, you can't heal anymore when you don't have a medkit by your side, aka making sure that this perk is dying straight up out of nowhere. I mean, chill, Behavior Interactive. You could have made it that the survivor can only boon it once per trial, but I take it since the heal bonus won't be combinable with the med kit speed bonus, and that you see the auras from the survivors in this range. Yeah, I'm sorry for saying this, but goodbye Circle of Spamming. It was only a year which you were under us. but at least you died fastly. Not like Dead Hard, which died so slightly that it was much more droggish than someone dying in real life. But again, it fucks over survivor mains, which I'm completely in for it, so you can already guess how I am going to rank this update. I will give this update 4.71 out of 5 merciless_stars because it kills of Dead Hard, it straight up kills Boone of spamming, and it completely saves me from this madman for a few days now. So here again, good job, Behavior Interactive. So let's move on the next update. Update 6, Killer Updates. Okay, listen, I know that there is something going on there, especially with the killer, which is starting with an H and ending with an Y, and I'm not so stupid to kill myself when all of those content creators are crying about how they nerfed a sudden killer again, even if they are not playing this killer since months or heck even years. So for my sake will I put this sudden killer to the end, because I won't kill myself here with toxic DBD Twitter stans. So with this advisor out of the way, let's talk about the killer updates. I was underwhelmed by what I saw under those updates, and it was the weakest update under this mid-chapter update. If they would have called Killer Add-ons Update, would have that been a bit better, but you can feel that the time did go into other stuff and that they only changed some stuff for at least having a bare minimum, which I hate, but the thing is that this isn't the end from the update here, and that this update gave me so much more new cool and helping stuff that I'm here a bit nicer now. Since I saw that they tried to give us a lot in this update, and I have to somehow respect that too, especially while they are in the promotion phase of Meet Your Next Money Milking Machine and the release of DBD Mobile 2.0, which I by the way wanted to upload the video to it last week, but couldn't because of sudden people going complete insane that they basically ruined my schedule for a whole fucking month, but is also fine for me since I have enough videos then to do nothing in the summer, which I will probably need. So let's start with the pig, and I'm being straightforward here. This is weak. Giving an add-on for % more speed and nothing else is weak, because it will do nothing, especially after you completely nerfed her other stuff on the ground before, like they even joked about it, but this is weak. Even the Nightmare got more, not much, but at least some add-ons are giving survivors additional 30 seconds of blindness, but at least is this doing something? The Executioner can now apparently see 1.5 seconds longer some survivors if they are doing something, but again, this is a small, very small add-on change for a killer and nothing else. Again, bad. The clown mains are getting fucked over again. I know who couldn't guess that, with not spamming their bottles around when they have their one-hit shit on, but this is at least understandable because if I ever played against a clown, was it someone which thought that bullying is a cool thing? So it's cool to see that he is getting bullied back. The Oni got some add-ons changed, which is letting him move forward faster by 0.1 m, which doesn't sound much, but is since he can ran around pretty much fast when he is getting his blood thingy going on, which is at least okay to good at maximum. And then we have Hillbilly. AKA there should have been Hillbilly script till a 27 years old man tried to cancel me on Twitter because I told him several times to chill over 2 to 4% changes, which he didn't wanted to and rather choose violence against me, while I have to call Compass on how the fuck I should continue with this video now, while knowing that this man tried to bitch over on me and tried to silence me with sending his community over to me. In the original script was written on how much he needed to chill, especially when other groups got fucked more over like the survivors, which he by the way doesn't care about, or how Mintskull is going crazy with some mind up statistics. Just to say it again, Sofarex tried to cancel me just because he thought that he is not feeling it today, and that I'm not understanding how Billy works, while he is searching for some made up arguments when I show him this or that clip here. I decided this time to be a bitch, choosing silence and to turn the tables to not talk about the situation yet, to cash in the views since Compass, and I decided to make an extra video just for Dowsy, Mintskull and Sofarex. He also announced to react to this video, which I will let him do, not striking him down for doing so even when his community left those nice lovely DMs back and even thought that this is funny, and giving him the chance to say what he wants now, to come up with another made-up argument, or how he will try to take my comments out of context just to do my video then and to show my greatness for trying to cancel me. The whole killer update got from me a 3/16 merciless stars, but let us move on. Update 7, Bright Light Interactions. I thought that this update will be more controversial, especially for survivor mains since those changes are hurting pretty much, even for me, but as I looked on Twitter did really no one talk about it since people like Dowsy and the other named people are focusing the conversation into a topic that even I couldn't believe it. Like with the map updates in Dead by Daylight, is this one easy to understand on what is coming to us, but it's harder to think through the situations, which could be arguing with this update since it will change up quite a lot. I am also quite unsure I do really like or unlike the changes here made since I'm always here for making survivor mains sad, but this kinda feels like that this nerfing is devaluing the flashlight so much that this doesn't feel alright, but there are probably some changes in there which would revive some killers in there or at least making them more possible to play again. But let me just introduce you to a change so that you can understand me better. For the Wraith, are they removing to blind him with the flashlight out of his cloak? Do you understand understand what I mean. I can understand that behavior wants to flatten the weaknesses for some killers, but if they are really implementing this, is basically the Ghost the strongest character in the game since his cloak is making him faster, and you can't pull him out of there. Another change, they want to remove that the survivors can remove the traps from her with the light, but that the survivors can remove them by squatting on them, and making them remove it by hand for several seconds. Even I, the merciless underscore which is quite unsure if we really should go through this because again, yes, it will help the killer, but it will help so much that they are basically so strong that killers like Twins or Trickster are being completely forgotten then, even if they would try to revive those with cool skins. The artist would be also in there so that the light is removing her crows after in time, but I think that this update isn't great not because of making the killer stronger, but rather more because Behavior Interactive is basically shitting on the story where the killers aka the entity is having serious issue with light, and that it is weak against light. And I don't like that. There has to be another way to help those killers by maybe making them used to the light after in time, so that they stuff is not getting away after in time of being used in the light, but this is just straight fucking with the lore, and I'm not in with this. I don't know what I should rank it, and so with it, won't rank it since it could be only me overreacting here, and I don't want to being such a headache like the others on Twitter, but in my opinion is this fucking with the lore, and I don't like that. I'm sorry. Update 8, Community Thoughts. Since we already heard till up to this point, is this update pretty controversial while either the survivor mains, the killer mains, or low IQ stands are having something against it which either I can't understand, because this update is literally what I wished for the latest several months, which is having not a Karen running around and destroying the update with small changes. But I also asked you my witches to tell me about your opinion from this current update, and I have some kinda strange feeling that I will be getting cancelled one more time again since a lot of you are not into the Dead by Daylight update. We were even lucky and got 2 comments which Yusef is saying that he doesn't like the update because of the changes of the Billy, which is fine to think, but I still think that the people are still trying to overreact about this since it's only small change rather than a big one since there is literally hard to cancel the update for anything else. Seductive Raven, which is the second comment under my post, also wrote that he really doesn't care about the Billy nerf, which is not gonna lie good to hear since I thought that I would be only person here with me just vibing with the update, but that he is rather more worried about the hag changes with removing the flashlight ability thingy which I talked about it in the latest minutes ago. He really doesn't know if it will benefit the hag, which in my opinion it probably will, but that he is also liking that boon. Circle of spamming with dead hard is finally getting killed off. I sadly didn't had any other comments to blend in here since those were the only ones got posted there sadly, but I think that the community is going to be purely forgetting it in a week or two, and that the whole drama from the low IQ lords is chilling off while forgetting that they're almost cancelled the community again. But thank you again for posting those comments under my posts, and let's move on to the last update. Update 9, Battle Pass changes. Remember in my latest video telling you that the story could be soonish over? Well, guess what? They are basically explaining here that they will expend sudden stories now from sudden rifts, and that there will be more bonus levels in the Battle Pass, which I'm totally okay with it, but you can slowly seeing that Behavior is now trying to end the story with this slowly and Stanley, which is fine, but this would be explaining me on why they are fucking over with the lore then in Update 7, but to be honest, it's fine by me, and I want to go the end words now since we talked enough about why this update is so great. End words. My witches, I'm not lying to you, but I'm in generally happy with this update since it removes sudden problems for me with the blood points, as an example, or that little problem with my ears, but I'm also quite annoyed from sudden content creators because they totally overrated on it and I really didn't liked it, but I'm also worried if they give a completely fuck to the story now, which I really hope that they don't since I always treasured that they gave the story some seeable gameable touch, but I can completely feel from the vibe that there was a developer here, unlike the Karen which we used to had in other updates, that truly cares about the killer side and truly wants to have them fun too in the game, but I don't really know if this developer maybe overdid it a bit. I'm fine with longer healer and shittier medkits. I don't care that circle of spamming is basically out of the game like with Dead Hard, but I don't like that they want to remove the light features from the flashlights, and I also don't like that this killer update was basically so small. In general, will I give it 4 stars out of 5 since there is truly stuff in there which is helping me and others a lot, but of course do I have my problems with sudden changes, which is fine, and I know that, but I'm pretty happy that this annoying Karen is finally away which drove those updates basically into an insane direction usually. With no more being then said, thank you for watching my video, join my Discord server and stay merciless, bye.